A Vanguard must win the entire week to make it to LAN. If anybody else wins, NiP go to LAN. NiP are playing right now. Let's look at the veto. Let's see where they'll be playing. The Battleground. Ninjas in Pajamas playing OpTic. If you're wondering what the other teams this week are doing, they're playing for prize money, man. There's cash money every single week. The prize fighters are here for the monies, for the briefcase full of cash, for the brown envelopes. Nuke, Dust 2, and Mirage will be where we are fighting. Marvelous stuff. This is a nice series for Ninjas in Pajamas. There are some rumors that OpTic are looking to replace Snappy with a player I'm not familiar with, Tess says, or something along those lines. So, I mean, OpTic are a team which were cobbled together. It was an international team, ended up being a Danish team after some anime betrayals in North America, and they're still. I think there's most of their journey is ahead of them at this point. I think it's fair to say. Let's do the predictions, guys, because we are about 50 minutes behind schedule after that best of 3. I'm going to pick Ninjas in Pajamas. I think they are returning to form, which everybody's happy to see. I think you've got to pick NiP in this way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Dan. Eric, what do you think?
I'll pick NiP as well.
Connor, I assume you're not crazy.
No, yeah, I pretty much second everything you say.
Okay, marvelous. It's pretty straightforward here in the studio. The pinnacle predictions in the studio. It's all Ninja Stars. Shurikens?
Shuriken.
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 Okay.
Shurikens.
That's one thing I've never bought. I have 3 samurai swords. I had 2 axes. I've got 3 shotguns. I have the size that Ninja Turtles had, among other things. But I never got the.
You had the what? The Ninja Turtles had?
The size.
Oh, the side daggers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
like the butterfly knives.
Mine. I have like a bunch of Chinese weapons as well, but I disposed of some because I was like, I'm through this phase now. Anyway, fan predictions. What do the people out there think is going to be? We got a 32%. That's crazy, man. I think that's crazy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I'm right.
I think it's a little too low. I mean, I think these maps actually kind of favor OpTic a little, or it's OpTic style. They want to play Nuke, they want to play Dust 2.
Okay,
so.
I just think that Ninjas in Pajamas are too strong at this point.
They are.
Yeah.
They never know, I guess.
Yeah.
They've had some good consistency of late as well, and they are like they have earned the HLTV power rankings, at least 5th spot in the world. Oh wait, hang on, no, hang on. Is it?
They're up there.
Fnatic might be 5th. Fnatic are either 5th or 4th, and NiP 1 slot behind them. So effectively top 6.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's obviously they're very good, and they're established. They're an established lineup. They've got a great map pool at this point as well. Nuke is a fantastic map for them. In fact, all of these maps are great for NiP. So
the odds by Pinnacle there were pretty reasonable, I think, for both teams. I don't know what OpTic's rank is at the moment. I'll check in a second, but I
19
mean,
is my guess.
About 19.
19.
27. 22nd. Says Connor. So, I mean, what do you think of OpTic as a team? Do you think they're a complete team, or do you think they're still like cobbled together, trying to find the right pieces? Because I feel like we've had a few of those types of projects, mostly in North America, but that's kind of started in North America and made its way to Europe.
Well, OpTic with I thought they're going to use Yugi as their opper, but they got rid of him. And so I don't know, I've always a mixed feeling, like they're always inconsistent, like super inconsistent. They have some strats, and you're thinking of with MSL that they're going to have some kind of coordinated special T sides, but it hasn't shown too much. So I really want to see on this map, are they able to outplay NiP?
not a good start. Taking a lot of nade damage. But they are delivering some headshots, but as is Rez, it's 2 versus 3 though. There's a gap in the smoke, an enormous cavernous gap that Forest will be able to exploit. And Lekro finds a timing that Snappy cannot deal with, leaving MSL with everything. But now he's got nothing.
Nothing but the boots on his feet. And they may get taken as well. They may get taken as well. Ninjas in Pajamas with a great HE into the hut position on the pistol round, doing big damage. One to consider if you are defending the A bomb site. Look at it's already come and gone at this point.
Oh,
that is amazing. That is an amazing shot from Refresh. The way he's looking around as well. That's
see it again.
nasty.
Let's see that again.
Let's see it again.
I want to see that one again. Yeah.
That's asking a DJ to rewind every game
Yeah.
now.
That's good. That's, you know, for those of you guys who care about the mechanics and stuff, that's a good mouse lift right there. Unless he has a super high sense, but I think that's just like a mouse lift. Resets your aim. In a completely different place, like he teleports.
Or refresh his aim.
Shut up.
You had it on a platter, Dan. It was for you for the taking.
Yeah, I just don't go. It's too low hanging. It's like
Someone's
like
got it.
underground.
Yeah, we're more giraffes than llamas.
You know, someone's gonna take it.
I don't know if
that.
llamas eat fruit, but you know, the best I could do.
Llamas are cool.
They spit in your face.
I put my hand in a donkey's mouth once.
That's just idiotic, James.
That's weird.
I soon learned it was idiotic, yes. Was it a donkey? No, it was a llama. Or was it a
Whoa.
pony?
If you can't tell the difference between a donkey and a llama, we've got problems.
I'm not sure if it was one of those two or a pony, to be honest. It was a long time
How
ago.
could you not tell between a llama and a donkey, James? They're very different. Very different.
I can't remember.
Well.
Anyway, NiP are having problems trying to defend their buy at the moment. Nice spray from Dennis, but he's low on bullets now, and surely Config knows that. He's in the red. He's in the squeaky position. Lecro showing presence elsewhere. There's Dennis taking one in the back of the face, leaving Lecro to reposition. Last spotted around the main area, or mini if you're in North America. He moves towards the elevation of heaven. Got his M4A4 out, creeping around the ladder. MSR taken out, but he can't get the trade. Doesn't see Config, it seems. 6 HP, Jesus.
Camouflage right there, but not really. Standing out in the open, and luckily, OpTic be able to pull that round win. I like the strat. Force by Nuke is a map that you can really abuse with some armor, AKs. Get up close.
Yep. I actually have a quick point as well about the hut push on the pistol round, although it's a couple rounds ago. That's something I see more and more commonly. I think teams recognizing that you can get out so quickly from the hut. Obviously, the only thing that really screws you is fast timings on nades. It's the only thing that stops that. But otherwise, if the CTs don't do that, you're out on the bomb site, you can plant almost immediately, and it's awful for the CTs. So you got to get the nades in the hut. And that's beautiful. I love good CZ usage. It feels very satisfying. Lecro can't get it done with that. Deagle, Norkin, Forest with the CZ ultimately as a 3v3 for NiP on the lower bomb site to try to go for the retake. And they do have some position. Does that work with a UMP?
I don't think so.
I feel like no. I feel like it definitely doesn't. I feel like that definitely doesn't work with the UMP. But perhaps he's just trying to distract. Get right, he's making it work. Diving around the corner like a hero. Maybe there's a chance now. Thanks to Get Right. Oh, that's a... Get Right is doing massive damage with this UMP.
There's no kit. Ooh, it's going to be a close one. Let's see.
He's got this. Oh, I think he's got this. He's good. No! He had it!
Now, if you're
Well, he
playing,
didn't have it then. That's why he's dead.
if you have the 10-second music on, you would have known if you had it or not. But
I
we don't-
refuse.
You need to put it on. Just have it on low volume.
I've never needed it, but I'd say I'm right about 90% of the time. But recently I got 2 wrong in a row, and I was very upset with myself.
So you
you're
need the
not
music.
90.
So now I'm doubting myself, which is why I was non-committal there. But I don't know.
So now you need the music.
I will not put the music on.
You have to play with music.
No,
90%. It doesn't sound like you said 90%.
I will not put the music on. I will not use tooltips to find a bomb in smoke either. Snappy and Nico taking massive Molotov damage, but they've got position. They've got the frags, but they won't last very long. But the spray will favor them eventually. Forest running out of bullets, falling to the low ground. Rez walking straight into MSL. What's he doing there? Forest on the floor, 30 HP. Molotovs galore. 2 players by Squeaky. He's been flashed off position. He could be on the site. They don't know. He's in the hut, however. And they're moving towards the B bomb site, both in tandem almost. MSL looking for the rotation, it seems. He's 100 HP, so why not? Down he goes, Forest, straight into the welcoming headshot of MSL. 3-1 for OpTic. So far, so good.
A quick point of reference for those of you at home. last time we watched NiP play in the previous week of ECS, Eric, I think, correctly pointed out that for him, NiP showed maybe one of the best T-sides on Nuke's scene in this iteration of Nuke.
Yeah, everything they did was perfect. They timed everything perfect. They walked out the right spot. They mixed it up. They had a whole, you know, just a bunch of different side T-strats that worked, and it's just beautiful to see.
So hopefully we get to see that again today. But obviously the CT side comes first. It's not the best start for them, so they'll definitely need that strong T half that we know they're capable of. Got the outside smokes being lined up, delayed a little bit. That's good to mix up the timings of these. And there we go, just taking control, taking position, and it seems like NiP will want to actually contest outside, or try to with the pistols, and that will be their death, unfortunately for them, but not without a couple kills, at the very least. Lekro's reset the situation, so one more is always possible. Oh, he's going to jump down to the vents, but he's locked himself out of the A site now, so... And he knows it. They can just all walk into a plant on A. But again, this is another reset of the situation. Lekro can come out from another angle at an obscure timing, maybe get a headshot, maybe steal an AK, maybe save it. That would be a pretty huge value play that is available to him.
Lekro and the Deagle. Inseparable. A little jiggle here and there. Moving to the beat of the bomb. There must be two weapons on the floor somewhere. Possibly being protected. As he picked the right exit. No one's really moving. I mean, Config doesn't necessarily even need to exit. Looking down the ladder. Lekro will be finished off from the back by Refresh. 4-1.
Indeed, it is a strong start. And this would be a pretty good round for NiP to pick up the pace. But in which way will they attempt that? Because there are there's always aggressive options, but sometimes you don't need to use them. And I think for NiP, you know, you really do have to make your default CD setups that aren't aggressive work. And this is quite a setup hit. Refresh takes down Forest. He takes a dink for his trouble, but I think you'll take that every day for the 5v4.
Off angle from Rez. MSO the only sniper in this round. The smoke towards main. Not the best smoke in either direction. It has left quite the gap. Nico taken down without answer. There is a player on main. I'm not sure if they should realize it. The landing impact should be enough. MSL's on fire, but Config takes out Get Right in the meantime. Rez unable to do anything, creeping around the box, but Config's got a great angle, but he's looking the wrong way, and that is brutal. Variance, two places to look. Looks one way, gets taken down from the other. Molly on the vent to allow for the rotation for OpTic. 3 versus 3 as a bomb gets planted for ramp.
Pretty decent positions overall here for NiP. Got to hit the shots, and Snappy and Refresh, that said, are very, very weak. One bullet will do it for both players. So this should be pretty achievable for NiP, but obviously the element of surprise, that's what makes the difference, and that's what will make the difference in this instance as OpTic pick up another T round. They are having a fantastic start. They're really crippling NiP, and it's getting to the point where NiP are going to have to string together a good 5-6 rounds in a row to even have a respectable start.
Yeah, I'm glad you caught that Molotov. Snappy being upset at his IGL, Molotoving him off. Making him go right down the vent prematurely.
Can't believe you've done this.
How dare you? And OpTic's up 5-1. We'd like to see NiP maybe work a little better in the 2-2 in that last round. Really didn't clear spots together. It's got picked off. It's like little things like that. Could make a difference.
So slow start here is where it seems like NiP might start to struggle, but that's beautiful from Forest. Picks up a double with a CZ, and now things start to get interesting. Dennis makes things worse here. Diving through the smoke, trying to capitalize on the chaos, but it will be a 2v1 after all. Snappy, they will know exactly where he is. Surely they heard the tagging from the incendiary, and Snappy will go outside. It's the right play. He catches Lecro, and now he's made it a 1 versus 1. Dennis does have armor though, and it will be a pretty difficult fight for Snappy. Snappy has to go for a bomb plant at some point, or if he decides to go down the vents, it's going to be very dangerous. Dennis plays it perfectly, it would appear, and that's going to be the first round for NiP, an unlikely round at that, but they pick up a round. They need every other round in this half, really, I think, to feel comfortable.
You saw Force right there with 2 kills on top of Hut. There are Molotovs which are easily thrown to force Forrest off that spot, and you'll definitely see NiP toss those Molotovs on their T-half for sure. So it's really easy to do. If you're going to go out a huge squeaky attack like that, why not throw a pop flash Molotov? You know, make it easier.
Dennis looking for that main rotation maybe. Easy frag for him, and he punishes the outside as well. Great spatial awareness from Dennis. Snappy on the silo as well, but this is a devastating start by Ninjas in Pajamas. 4 versus 2. Rez was lost somewhere in the meantime. Everybody outside for OpTic. Plenty of noise being made. Weapons being collected. Ooh. Fast rotation, but Forrest is here to do some more damage. Run distraction while Dennis goes for a flick. He's been good with the AWP so far. Misses the final shot though, and that will be to his doom, to his demise. 2 versus 3 from OpTic's point of view. Both players have taken some damage. They've got the bomb. No position, however. Got Lecro towards the ramp. Forrest still in that main position.
Perhaps a slight overextension for NiP. It's very easy to do though, unfortunately. But they needed a cleaner round. You know, if they're going to win this one, they would really have liked to have had more players survive so they can keep that economy up and running. However, it might be the case that this round goes the way of OpTic. We'll have to see. They are moving their way through lobby very shortly, but they don't have much time, so they are likely committed to the upper bomb site if they want to take the bomb site with the fastest time. But speaking of timing, Lecro may have nailed this. He spotted both players, and they are so weak, he'll finish them both off, and that will be 3 rounds for NiP. But again, they only survive with 2 players, and OpTic, knowing this, they could decide to go for a force buy and try to make things really awkward for NiP.
There's a really good round by NiP outside, especially by Dennis opping. But again, as you said before, if we're to nitpick, a little sloppy towards the end. At one point, you do see a 4-on-2 in favor of NiP, but they keep re-peeking almost from the same angle, and that's just you know, you can't do that at this level. You have to take what you get in position or have something.
Ooh, Lecro's in so much trouble. He got himself into a committed position, now relying on Dennis to clean everything up. And it should be okay. Dennis is backed off to a pretty decent position, but gets dinged pretty much immediately there. So it's rather troublesome, but he's still able to hold things off. And Config can't make his way across down to the bomb, so that is a wrap. NiP survive of 4, which is a must for such a round. And they can start to stabilize unless OpTic are able to have a very solid round here, and I'm really curious what they're going to go with. They've had many successful rounds.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. They don't have many Molotovs on OpTic's side, so I wonder if they're gonna use those to force out here.
Grenades flying outside. Some mollies, mostly flashes remaining for OpTic. Smoke down just in time as MSL glides downstairs.
I wanted to point out that the smoke that OpTic tossed, even though NiP tossed a Molotov to stop the smoke, it still landed in that spot. So that's something I think you should write that down.
That's
James.
kind of weird. Perhaps I shall inspect it later on. Lecro pulls his knife out. He takes things for granted, and he's punished for doing so. Personnel loss for Ninjas in Pajamas. Man, disadvantage now. Dennis in an awkward position. Really horrible angles for him. Misses the shot, and that might be the round just there. 4 versus 2. What else is there for NiP to do at this point?
Well, perhaps all that there is left to do is to die.
I hate when that happens.
No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Get an AWP out of it. That's a plus. Yeah, but that's an interesting take because a lot of teams at the CT counter the outside smokes by throwing that early Molotov. And it makes the smoke a huge gap in it. But OpTic, they figure out a way, at least that's what I think I saw, that even with the Molotov, the smoke still lands in the perfect spot. So, very interesting indeed. To watch for this demo. Figure it out.
So OpTic immediately they win the rounds back. They're looking really strong on this T side. NiP are struggling quite a lot, and this is not the hurdle where they are supposed to fall, because they've got to make it all the way to, this week, and they are again. They're a fantastically strong team at the moment. They are experiencing some of the best form they've had in a long time, and the most consistent form they've had in a long time, and so they need to get their acts together. They need those, you know, the remaining 5 rounds in a row. They need all of them. Chris pulled out the auto shotgun, and he's playing pretty damn close, and a push at some point maybe on the cards here for him. Snappy's trying to keep it honest, but he will divert his attention. It seems like they are going to go back outside, so late smokes outside. Are they going to just run down Secret? That would be quite interesting at this point. Indeed.
Nice line up for the Molotov into Secret. It goes deep, and they cross. Oh, there was a slightest gap for Rez to peek, but he may lack vision everywhere else, so maybe he doesn't want to commit to that kind of angle. OpTic have made their way downstairs with 4 of their 5 players. Refresh lurking on the outside, which again is why you may not want to be focused on a tiny position, because he could creep through those smokes at any moment. Looks to make his way towards main. OpTic looking to take control of control and then take control of the B bomb site. 35 seconds, 5 versus 5. NiP haven't really rotated too much towards the lower area just yet. Dennis with an AWP, cheeky frag. Rez starts to activate, takes out the rotator, refresh. Some grenades towards control, beautiful damage. And that will really help in a retake attempt from NiP.
But the bomb does still get planted, and there are still good positions overall for OpTic. They get a couple of these initial defensive kills, they'll be in good stead to hold this. MSL's the first player to do so, and he will succeed. Config the next one, and he's got 3 players to try to keep at bay. And pretty much all of them, the entire team is coming from the ramp position. Nico finishes it off, and now it's just Dennis. It was a 3 versus 5, but now it's a 2 versus 1 in favor of OpTic. And Dennis tries to pressure the bomb with the smoke, and they are going to absolutely nail it. Great defense from OpTic. They go 7-4.
Yeah, NiP tried to do a retake with numbers. They had 5 players still left alive, but the entrance on where NiP had to take was the U-Haul ramp, and so it forces 4 of the players to go like this small little choke point, a walkway. So OpTic did a good job of tunneling NiP into those 2 spots. Really, it looked like around NiP was, you know, going to methodically take and a retake.
A struggle at the beginning for Ninjas in Pajamas. They find themselves on pistols at this point with no grenades. Rez with some Kevlar. Everybody else is naked. Plenty of players outside for OpTic. So far, so good. Only 4 rounds on the CT side. This is catastrophic for Ninjas in Pajamas so far. And again, all they need to do is stop the Vanguard from winning, which may require them to win it at the same time. But the first map isn't going their way at the moment. But again, in the last week, we saw great presence of mind on the T side from Ninjas in Pajamas. So if they don't get many more rounds on this half, by no means will it be over.
OpTic have improved since I last saw them. I feel like they have really good timings, and their utility usage is very good. Their game plan is really enjoyable. They are really starting this series off looking very strong, and that's great to see.
I think this is NiP's map pick too. They've done their homework.
That's the bomb. 25 seconds on the clock. That could be the round. Maybe it won't be. That is a huge frag from Snappy onto Dennis. Lecro, though, causing problems. 14 seconds. They've got to plant back bomb. Oh, that's a beautiful shot from Lecro. And he's not finished. Maybe he is running out of bullets, but Get Right will finish things off. And there is a round for Ninjas in Pajamas. A much-needed round.
Wow, talk about stealing a round away right there.
Yeah, without that headshot down low from Lecro as he was burning alive, he has one shot there. If he misses that shot, they kill him easily. There he dies. Because, you know, there'll be two of them, and then they can the T's can trade onto the CT that's remaining. That's pretty nuts. That's pretty crazy. Necro, what a shot.
Yeah, Snappy just kind of waited after that first kill in control and waited for his teammates to help clear that dark spot. That you saw at that point, Snappy was jumping around in the bomb site, trying to look everywhere. It was a little too early.
Forrest, what a beautiful play there. The nade does so much damage, repositions, they don't expect it. And it is a 3 versus 2 in favor of the Ninjas in Pajamas. Let's see if they can close it down though, because they are dwindling now. Snappy doing some good damage, dropping Dennis. Ooh, Nico's in for some trouble here. Managed to take down Lecro, so he keeps the chance alive. Rez knows that he's in hut, but could he have rotated? He's going for the hold. It's very bold.
Oh,
and Nico,
close.
perfect timing. He waits 4 seconds and then goes for the peak.
That was close. Rosie gains closer and close.
That was so awesome from Forrest. The nade that he dropped into Squeaky as well from the hut roof was so much damage. And he used that as his last known position as a bait. Like he baited his last known position, which is beautiful.
And they still lost the round.
And they still lost the round, yeah. That's true. He's so well.
And now their money is decimated once again. Not looking very good for Ninjas in Pajamas. 5 rounds. Possible 7. Not so likely, although Lecro has a Desert Eagle. And that's what he tends to do when he's got one. How does he do it so consistently? No one seems to know. He's got the sound cues. You would think that he's backed off, but he hasn't just yet. Oh, he gets around the corner. HG off the ceiling. Up close. Going for it again. But not quite having the glory that he's had before. Now, NiP know that they haven't committed to the B-bomb sites at this point, but MSL has the high ground of A, so there may not be that much that they can do about it.
Great position from Get Right there. MSL can really serve to make things a bit complicated, but for now, Get Right he was in a good position there. He's moving around a little bit, but he should still be good here. Indeed, you don't expect that to be held, but he only gets the 1. I think with the only guy with a rifle, I think he needed more there for his teammates to have a chance at this one. Yes, Lecro's Deagle's always nice. It can be an honorary member of the Deadly Deagle Kings.
You're saying that Lecro can be an honorary member of your Deagle Club?
Yeah, I'm the only member, James, so pretty exclusive.
Fair enough. All right then, maybe the worst is over for Ninjas in Pajamas. The last round is forced by territory for them. No one with more than $3,000 does Dennis drop in a. Oh, I was going to say an AK. They're on a CT side. Picks up a UMP. Everybody's got a helmet in this round, which is interesting for the CTs. They've all opted for full armor. Maybe reading that there will be some varied weaponry from OpTic, and they'll be right in that respect. The Galil and the Org are out. Does Rez go up top? God, be a brave soul. Oh, there's one at the back! The late rotation, so annoying when that happens. You think you've made a master play, and in some ways you have, but you've been outfoxed by a slow player.
The master play would be to wait for the slow player.
Ooh.
Take his gun. Take his life.
Take everything.
Maybe get a knife. If he missed the bottle. It's a pretty tough hold here for NiP with the SMGs. Okay, Dennis makes his SMG look like an AK. Not bad. Not bad at all. Still so much to be done though. This fast rotation could be everything. Are NiP out of position in the upper bomb sites? Yes, they very well are. This has worked out perfectly. Deagle's out though for Lecro. There he goes. Second shot, chest to make them even more afraid. Snappy looking to recover. Recovery might be on the cards here. That's not a bad start. His health is not the best. But Forrest is on a CZ. He's getting tapped. Snappy's down to 5 HP, still alive and kicking. No, he can't find the single shot to the head that he needed. Forrest gets a desperate last round for NiP.
Very desperate indeed. 6 rounds, not ideal for Ninjas in Pajamas as they look to make it to LAN this week. Can they pull it back in the second half? Find out after the break.
NiP are down 6-9. A CT side of disaster, catastrophe. It did not go well for them, but it went very well for OpTic, and they're in prime position to capitalize and start the series off very, very well indeed with an upset. But they got to start off with this pistol win, because we know that NiP can get the ball rolling on that T side of theirs. And I, for one, am excited to see what they have to offer here this week on their T side Nuke, given what we saw last week.
NiP has a very good understanding of this map, but this OpTic, do they know what they're in for? Snappy doesn't get headshot, is forced to fall back under heaven, but Rez, he capitalizes and gets picked off by Snappy with low HP. And now just like that, OpTic is up 1 person.
So very, very quick point. We talked about the rankings of OpTic, like being at 21 or something. ENCE were around the same ranking before they had that major run, and now, you know, within a few months they've earned top 3 of the world. But here we go. The bomb site's breached. Nico looking to reclaim the position that was lost, but in vain perhaps, as he gets taken out, and it's the bomb plant for NiP. MSL coming in, only player with any health, but that health is soon to diminish. Does find himself a cheeky frag though onto Dennis. only 6 bullets in the USP that he just picked up. So that's not a good outcome here, especially as he's spamming away the last bullet. Does it? Picks up another pistol. Can't quite get over the line, though, as Lekro shuts him down. And NiP do what they must, do what they need to do. Pick up the pistol.
Lekro gets a bulletproof 3K. He doesn't take a lick of damage. Cheap helmet, AK, and full grenades. He gets it all.
He's on top of the world right now.
But where's the deagle, though?
I think he's content with the AK. So we're not going to see a fourth buy from OpTic. Just the one HE grenade from Nico and 5 USPs. That's it. Not offering too much. Maybe trying to maim to help the headshots from that USP. From those USPs. HE down into the secret position, and they start the proceedings, Ninjas in Pajamas. You've got to be careful of any people, any persons, any hoodlums creeping through those smokes.
Quick timing notation. Dennis threw that HE at 137. He waited to throw the HE at 137. So we'll see if that's a recurring timing from NiP, as it is a long rotation position. Secrets. And Forrest got the AK. Electro decided to be generous.
He's giving. Giving and unforgiving.
And you know what? He's going to benefit because he gets 2 kills with the MAC-10 after all. So getting lots of extra money for the SMG kills. Always very nice. It feels really satisfying somehow to spray down people when you got a MAC-10 and they have no Kevlar. For somehow it's just very satisfying. I don't know why.
It's nice.
There's something about it. The helplessness.
Riddling people with bullets.
I think that's what it is. Their helplessness. They're so helpless.
That's perverse.
Reveling the helplessness of your
There's
opponents.
nothing you can do.
This is the Molotov I'm talking about. Oh.
Look, you impose my will. Get right down the vent. Look how smooth that was.
Like butter.
He's lost almost no health. In fact, he lost 1 HP, and just took... In fact, I don't think he took any damage. I think that's armor damage from the previous round.
Refresh seems unsure if anyone's actually gone down there. And now the investigation has begun. His teammates pop down the vent to have a look. Nico looking towards Secret. So, again, doesn't really... I don't think they realize that anybody's gone down there. Now Get Right's got some sound cues. Did Nico leave the door open? That would be quite something. Positioning for the B-bomb site. They are expectant. 2 of the 3 players down below for OpTic. A minute on the clock for Ninjas in Pajamas. So OpTic have got their setup. They've got some semblance of a crossfire, and they wait.
Glass smashed. Snappy knows what that means. In come the grenades. In comes the play into the bomb site. And the setup here for the CTs is not bad. Nico, you can see, he's done so much damage. The timing out of the double doors is a little bit too slow, and the trades are unfavorable here for NiP. The bomb plant looks to go down as Dennis finds the head of Config, and that might be the difference here now as Lekro is available to use that AK at distance now that he's off the bomb plant. And he's harassing, and his position is covered by his teammate. Dennis can see this angle as well. Doesn't really seem to be a way in here for NiP, and Dennis will shut down the last attempts at 9-9 as NiP. They need 10 rounds on this half to win this map, and they've already got 3. So 7 more to go. That's pretty good.
OpTic did actually a good job not rotating through the vents. A lot of teams would have the need to feel that they need to rotate as soon as possible, and vents is one of those options. But as you saw right there, Get Right was looking for the vent drop. He was waiting in vents. So good discipline on OpTic to really not do that.
9-9. OpTic on the pistols with Kevlar. There's a Molotov on the roof. Eric said we would see those, and here we are. There's fire everywhere.
It's easy to do.
Config takes some grenade damage and repositions, but there are plenty more Molotovs to come. They could throw another Molotov back on the roof. Now we see some damage towards the A bomb site. Exterminating the OpTic players. Struggling to defend themselves. But Refresh has found an AK, and there's another one to be collected in main if someone's in position. 3 versus 3, it gets awkward. Refresh is deleting everyone! Stealing around away OpTic, it seems. They know where Dennis is. Refresh could be anywhere now, and Snappy is position unknown. He's in a ramp, but surely he goes towards the lobby, the radio room, and picks himself up an AK-47 as well.
Oof, that was close. Dennis down to 13. And Snappy, he knows exactly where Dennis is, and the timing of that is unbelievable. Still such a strong advantage for Snappy. He's got an angle that pretty much deals with everything at the current timings. So it's really very difficult for Dennis because he's going to swing out this position, and you can see that's the only spot he doesn't check. So round is taken by OpTic, and here is that beautiful series of headshots from Refresh. Quick reposition. Great stuff.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. Can't mess with that. And it went down to the 1v1. Right now, OpTic are looking really, really ready for this game.
They did their homework.
Absolutely. MSL on the AWP. The only one in this round. That's a big grenade. Dennis taking some damage. Doing the first smoke for the wall. And there is the wall. How many will cross? Looks like 3 at the very least. Looking like 4. A late rotation from Lecro. Looking for a push through the smoke, perhaps a creep. Get right will be keeping people honest around the A-bomb site, around the entrance. Flash. Meticulous play from Ninjas' Pajamas. And I see nothing so far. 1 minute to play with. Or let's say 40 seconds. And Nico waits. Forrest creeps up. Oh, did he see something? He did now. Can't quite make the connection though. Maybe shooting through the step. Not breaking the glass in control.
Critically, he stays alive. That's one of the main things, especially with this little time on the clock. You can see that there's huge questions for NiP. MSL, unlucky to land that second shot. You'll get punished eventually. They'll spray the smoke, and Config is going to die. But still, time is of the essence for the bomb plant to go down, and Refresh is in a great off angle here. As long as no one comes from hut, which we can see is the case, he is in a really, really strong spot, but Dennis still checks for it. That is beautiful awareness, so cognizant. And there is just enough time to confidently, securely get the bomb down.
That's one of the reasons why NiP is so hard to play against them on this map. They somehow find the timings and pocket windows where they can just kind of sneak on through as a T side, as you know, with 2 or 3 people. And it's a good skill trait to have on a map like Nuke.
Little by little. Ninjas' Pajamas are trying to edge forward. But outside of the pistol, we've seen a round 1 by OpTic, so we still need to kind of figure out exactly what the climate is on this in this second half. But on paper, it's looking pretty good for Ninjas' Pajamas at the moment. They need to keep OpTic poor. Snappy's got 6k, the rest are on 2,500. So Ninjas' Pajamas are in a good spot for the time being. Very big round for them. See the work Rez and Dennis putting in there. That is an awesome frag.
Yeah.
Dennis knows his angles.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing, because especially for us, because we're not really necessarily exposed as much to the meta of op angles that the pros have. So that looks like he's a sidekick, but obviously that's in the meta, so that he knows to look out for that spot. Either way, quick push coming in here from NiP. Looks like it should be a really fast one, and indeed it will be. And yes. So
And yes.
I saw a post from George R. R. Martin's Twitter, and he had like kind of like a, okay, the show's over, what a ride, just kind of like a wrap up of all that. He said, and he said that he's I think he said that the next book is pretty close to completion.
Did he say he was sorry?
And he said that he did. Yeah, he did actually.
He did?
He doesn't have to be sorry. He can do whatever he wants, right? But
Should be sorry.
but yeah, he's said that. I mean, but he said that before, that he's gonna release all that stuff. So
Thanks, Dan. NiP are executing into the A-bomb side. We've got the smokes and the flashes. Config trying to stop them, and Refresh will join in the fray. Oh, there's so many people that they spread really well with NiP. They're all over the A bomb site, making it hard to find those transfers. Double HEs into the main position, but Config still alive. Snappy creeping up, but he's forced away from the Molotov, having to escape. There's a man advantage for OpTic though, and they've got a defuse kit, but only on Snappy. So they can take their time to some degree.
The damage has been pretty severe though to Dennis and Lekro, so it does limit NiP's defensive capabilities somewhat. That's a fantastic kill from Get Right. Very quick and a very fast reposition as well. Important, but there you go. You start to see the problem of having low HP. That grenade finding its mark. And now a 3 versus 2 here for OpTic as they try to overwhelm the defense, and they do so successfully. And they have just enough time to get the defuse in. Very well played from OpTic on the retake. And even though NiP are picking up rounds, it still looks pretty good for OpTic to win this one if they could keep up their pace. Some of the rounds in which NiP have won have been difficult and very, very close. So,
why is there a giant bomb on the map?
excuse me?
There was a humongous bomb on the map.
Where?
Well, it's gone now.
I need a replay.
Got to pay attention, guys. Come on. 11 to 11. Dennis opening, taking much damage from the flames, trying to catch somebody off guard and around that main or mini position, but nothing doing. People are aware of those tricks. Maybe they will feel conscious that perhaps there's a play towards main, so I think in a different round, he might get a kill there. But here we are, an AWP for both sides. Seeing a lot more Dennis AWPing over Forest, but I think it is map dependent. Seen Forest picking it up on Dust 2, for example, which we will see today. And here come the usual smokes from the Swedes.
And there is the wall. Protects the realms of men. MSL. Looking to destroy the realms of men. With the AWP. Oh god. Look at the, oh my god. MSL, he's got probably another frag here because Rez very close to being a little bit too exposed. He will back away. And single-handedly, MSL's kind of blown up everything towards Secret, and he understands exactly what's going on. He's got a kill as well. This forces NiP to work towards ramp, and OpTic have full information of all of this. And there's 20 seconds. NiP have nothing on the map at the moment, except that help position. That's all they really have, and Lekro makes it count.
Fade away Molotov onto default. Config force him into a different position, but will they actually check for him? Not just yet. 7 seconds on the clock. Is there cover? Forest can get there just about, but the bomb has been planted. 2 versus 3 for OpTic, and it's made even better by Config. Pre-firing all over the place, as is Forest. Gets a 1 versus 1, but Config will deliver the kill again. A 3K for him. These rounds are pretty tight, but OpTic are coming out on top.
One of the things I'm liking from OpTic is how much of a team effort everything really is. They're playing really well as a team, and NiP played a really slow round, and MSL did like the one maneuver that completely screws that. Because when you play a slow round, the whole point is that the CTs aren't supposed to know what's going on. They're slowly supposed to be getting pushed back, but MSL, he just opened the opportunity for his team to know exactly what's going on and forced NiP into just a desperate push. OpTic looking really good, actually. Here they go, very fast into the upper bomb site. The spray from Config and Refresh is completely on point. And it's easy to finish off the rest.
Damn.
They slaughtered that push.
That's like the, I don't know what, 4th time they've rushed upper in the last like 6 rounds, like 4 or 5 or 6 rounds. So I'm thinking NiP is trying to force agenda here, but they've been getting shut down by OpTic. Refresh, and he's been doing a really good job just trying to get a killer till, staying alive, being a distraction, letting his teammates kind of clean up a little bit.
Sometimes it feels quite difficult, doesn't it, when you play these slow rounds and you try to use your tactics and your team play, and you keep getting outplayed. Sometimes you just want to throw in a rush as almost like a protest. Walking down Secret behind the wall is the entirety almost of NiP. They've left Get Right lurking door, I believe. Yes. And he's just making some noise. Make some noise.
Oh, this is so awkward.
Hello.
Not anymore.
Pistols for NiP. Looking for a mistake, a bad position. A situation they can exploit. Nothing doing just yet, though. Dennis in a familiar position. Worse equipped this time. And time continues to tick. Get Right looking for Nico outside. Completely changed his position. The door to B has been opened. Snappy will take up position. Keeping an eye on control as well. I believe the glass has been broken. See grenade towards the ramp and out he goes. But there's MSL to take out Dennis in return. The bomb's been planted. So maybe... I was going to say maybe there'll be a kill in events, but no one's in events anymore. Res by the double doors. A second kill would be a bonus. Distraction being run. Here's the defuse. Free kill for Refresh. 14 to 11 for OpTic. Very strong position for them.
Yeah, they look amazing. They look really amazing. And it'd be really, as far as the series is concerned, for me, it'd actually be so cool if they win this map just because of the tone of the series, like how hard NiP will really have to fight. And I think that OpTic are one of those dark horse teams at the moment where you obviously, like, they have incredible players, actually, overall. They, like Nico, Refresh, MSL, Config, Snappy, they're all very capable. And so the level of work that they've been doing, I think that they could really catch people off guard. And you can kind of see that here. They've got a lot of detail to their play. They've got the clutch ability to back it up as well when things get a bit risky. Or when they have to make out-of-the-box plays. They have the talent to do it. Oh, Get Right, he's absolutely cracked open the A-bomb site with that squeaky play. Finally, it's taken a while, but he's managed to make this position look really good. And now they have the 4 versus 3 and over a minute to go. What a stark difference to many other rounds.
Fnatic will be facing a Vanguard tomorrow. That'll be a nice matchup. It'll be juicy. Look at more information after this match. But for now, NiP are trying to stay in this game. They've got the man advantage. They still have time. And OpTic look likely to search for information. Does MSL post up on main? He's blind, and here comes the numbers. One's out of hut already. Is there a trade? There is no trade. A transfer from Refresh. And now we're down to the 1 versus 1. There is time, but MSL has position. That shot was one too many for Rez. He's in a really bad spot now. He's going to try and bait the shot. He goes wide. Does big damage. Trying to elevate his position. MSL, that's 1 HP. I think he legged Rez. 1 HP. No grenades for Rez. He could kill him with a flashbang if he found one. He will pick the right angle, though. That is a nervous situation for Ninjas in Pyjamas, but they survive for now. But look at the money on OpTic. There's no break. There's no breather for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
And that's unfortunate for OpTic to lose that round. MSL was kind of in a good spot to pick off that player in the one-on-one. And that's probably one of OpTic's drawbacks, is that they don't have a strong opper on the team. I mean, MSL is an opper, he can hit some shots, but he's not explosive like some of the top oppers you've seen in today's game.
It's true, that is the one weakness. The Achilles heel. Now Lekro will go downstairs very quickly, and he's been eviscerated by MSL's AWP. Oh, I thought it was an HE for a second. That would have been pretty strong. However, NiP not looking to push the smoke anytime soon. Looking to see if there is any aggression through the smoke, but otherwise they will back away. And do they go back outside again? Looks like that might be the case over here. There's a smoke for the cross to T-Reds. I think that's much a look over the smoke indeed to see if he can get a pick. But OpTic rightly playing very conservatively. They've got the man advantage already. They don't have to take any huge risks or any risks at all. They just have to sit in a good setup. And the time is ticking away, which further serves to help OpTic in their quest to win this round.
37 seconds. Can we see the money situation quickly? See the play. It's pretty bad for both teams. Whoever loses this is in a bad situation. Okay, Snappy has really just won this round, hasn't he? A 4K with the Org in a choke point. It is brutal. It's absolutely brutal. And that's game point for OpTic, just like that.
Wow.
Ouch.
Such an odd spot angle. You don't see CTs playing there by themselves too much. And
That's a one and done
kill.
spot.
Yeah.
Where you got a quad kill. That's not bad.
Organ done,
That is
but it's they who are done.
massive value, isn't it? Well, NiP, it's come to this. 2 AK-47s and 3 pistols. And they are probably thinking to take a lot of risks here to try to get a bit crazy. They're going to push outside. They're going to wrap into main. And indeed, oh, just escaping in the nick of time there. I think that was... Forget who that... I can't see who that was, but Config will kill everyone. So it doesn't really matter. Oh, it was Nico, who survives by dodging through the smoke into the vents. And there's no one left except Forest. And, well, there's no one left. 16-12. OpTic with a surprising victory. I did not expect this. It's a good map for OpTic, but for NiP, they've been so dominant here recently that it was hard to imagine a world in which they concede this map to OpTic. But that's what happened.
OpTic had a really good both halves actually, just kind of tearing apart NiP. I'm pretty sure that they knew that NiP would pick this map, so I wouldn't be surprised if they watched some NiP demos, especially how good they played last week on Nuke. And OpTic's overall looking crisp, timings, teamwork, odd spots, mixing it up, pushing, falling back, just a lot of overall good mix-up from OpTic.
OpTic looking tougher than a $10 stake on their CT side. Really nice stuff from them, and NiP are going to have to do it the hard way if they're going to do it at all. Again, if they can secure victory this week, then that will be enough. Otherwise, it may not be in their hands. Same could be said. Well, yeah, we can leave that one there. That is a monstrous 4K from Snappy towards the end. So much damage done, but Config is the one almost with 3,000 damage. Again, up there in the high 2,000s is an exceptional performance, and he is one of 2 players, Refresh as well. Very good jobs from both of those on OpTic. Now we move to Dust 2, I do believe, as the second map of this best of 3 series. Can Ninjas in Pajamas get off to this week on the right foot by the end of this best of 3 series? Tune into the next map to find out the first part of that answer. We'll see you back here in a short few minutes.